Hey everybody, Deanna from Deanna Langford Coaching, back at it for your second tip on how to progress exercises or add intensity, but without a lot of load available. So this tip talks about range of motion. So how can we make an exercise harder by manipulating how much or how big the movement is? So let's take a squat as an example. So maybe this is my typical range of motion. So I want you to find your typical range of motion. Where do you start? Where do you, in particular, where do you end? What feels like the bottom of the movement for you? Okay. Then pause at the bottom of the movement. Make sure that the hips are pressed back. Your spine is long, so there's no rounding of that spine. Your knees are, fairly aligned. Don't get too hung up here, but fairly aligned with the ankles, just meaning that we don't look like this, right? Now, you're at the bottom of your movement. Can you go a little bit lower? Maybe the answer is no, that's okay. But maybe, just maybe, the answer is yes. And I'm going to invite you to find a way to mark how low your range of motion is. You've all seen a growth chart for a kid, right? Or maybe a dog. On the wall, you have your marks of how old or how tall that child is at 1 year, 2 year, etc. Now you could think about doing the reverse, but for the depth of your squat. I don't know if you want to write on your walls, but it's just an idea. So down you go. Let's see what the bottom of that squat is, or where the bottom of that squat is. And then I'm going to invite you to just try to go a little lower. And the boss of this exercise, hip, low back, and knee, meaning how do those joints or those areas feel? If they're uncomfortable, I want you to just peek at your technique. Make sure you're leading back with the hips. Your spine is nice and long. And if you've done a technique check, still doesn't feel right, then you honor your body and don't go any lower, okay? Choose one of the other tips we'll give this week. So range of motion tip 2, see how low can you get in that squat or whatever exercise you're choosing. And if you're looking for a little bit of personal training online through Zoom, message me because I'd love to chat with you about that and how it works. Have a great day.